Straight to our next topic, which happens to be our final conversation. Over the years, the scourge of insecurity being experienced in the country affects all, and lately, places of worship have been a target. Gunmen suspected to be hired assassins on Sunday shot and killed the shepherd in charge of a Celestial Church of Christ in Idiroko, in Ipokia local government area of Ogun State. The deceased, identified as Yomi Adetula, was killed inside his church on Sunday morning around 11 a.m. while preaching. It was reliably gathered that Adetula's assailants, who were 6 in number, were armed with AK-47 gun each and were all clad in the Celestial Church's garments, stormed the church, the Hebrew Celestial Church, where they rained bullets on him and waited to certify him dead, and dismembered him inside the church before leaving the scene. While reasons behind the dastardly act are yet to be ascertained, it was gathered that late Adetula had for the past few months been having running battles against certain smuggling cartel in Idiroko border town, which necessitated his movement to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, in December 2024. Kaide, what is really going on? You know, where criminals can be so daring, go into a church, you know, and pull off this kind of tragedy. What is really going on?
I'm trying to remember a very popular book I read in school then. I think Murder in the Cathedral.
Murder in the Cathedral,
So
okay.
this is just to tell you that they are called daredevils. They are they are godless people who probably don't care where the evil is committed.
Whether a church or a dining table,
mosque,
it's all the same.
They are just evil. There's no better word to describe them. And it's also probably to say that probably they've been looking for different avenues to get this man down, and they felt this might be the only place that is most vulnerable, and they went for him. But having said that, I think it's about the fact that let's not make mistakes about it. I've seen some level of, that's my word anyway, I've seen some level of ignorance when people will say, why are you using policemen in the church? Why are you safeguarding the church? You understand? It's not an heresy, it's not an apostasy to say that even in the days of Jesus and other prophet, you know, they have people who also protect them.
Exactly.
They have people who also guard them.
Exactly.
So that you have God with you does not mean that you're not giving you sense to find a way of also protecting
yourself as
well. This is just to say that it is not out of place to also have people being checked, people being, you know, scanned when they come to church. If your church can afford it, it's not out of place to have those people because they will look out for where you are most vulnerable.
Exactly.
And who says that God is not everywhere? God is in your sitting room.
True.
So if you can protect yourself at home, what stops you from also protecting in the church? That's the point I want to make. But on this issue, I think it's just to say that there is a story to it. This is someone who is a security agent. And so SAVE is like,
like
I wouldn't call them vigilantes because they protect most of these people, but they have some registration with the
state government.
And that's to let you know that this is someone who probably is targeted. It's someone that maybe his good work, I don't know how the details, made him a prey. They wanted to get him, and this is the situation we've seen. But police have said that they are doing their investigation. I would prefer to wait for police and let police just know that we are waiting for them.
We are waiting.
They shouldn't just tell us that they can't say anything and therefore it ends there.
Moji, the late Adetula, according to report, they said he was the Idiroko unit commander of So Safe Corps. Could this attack be related to it? You know, there's been all sorts. Some are saying, oh, because of smuggling, the cartel. Could this be related?
Yeah, I know Ilaro is a border town, a lot of activities, national activities, smuggling activities upon that area. And, you know, it's like a civilian JTF.
That's true.
Is the commander of the Ogun State Community Social Orientation and Safety Corps. We call them So Safe. So he's calling as a pastor is just an aside.
Yes.
And I think his main duty, his main call to duty is that of this commander of the SOSAFE. So I read the report where they said it's been a thorn in the flesh of this smugglers. So just like you alluded to, I mean, they found a vulnerable time to get at him, to strike, just like the late Professor Pella was cut down while observing his prayers, and also Murtala Muhammad was
on the way to the mosque.
Friday on the way to the mosque.
That's
so
true.
These characters, they know. I mean, when the people could be vulnerable, and it's so sad that they could choose a temple of God to carry out this kind of nefarious act. May so rest in peace, and I pray the police actually find his killers, and I pray that God will rest his soul, because things like this is really,
it is
sad.
really sad.
They pumped bullets into his body, and to be sure that he actually died, they also axed his neck. So
Now,
it's really sad.
Now, Ogun
in front
State,
of the
now Ogun
congregation.
State now is in the news for the wrong reason this time. Okay, I'm from Ogun State. I love my state a lot. So on the issue of insecurity, even though the governor has been trying to put something, but what should the Ogun State government be doing at this time? You know, what mechanisms do you think they should put in place to keep the residents of the state safe?
Yes, in 2-3 days, I think the AIG's wife was kidnapped, and there are two peculiar situations, especially that one at Arepo. You know, it was a case of some kind of off guard, because you recall in 2016, either 2016 or 2014, when the vandals were really disturbing the residents of Arepo. You know, kudos to Buhari then.
And pipeline vandalism
was so right then. And they came, heavy bombardment. Trust me, they brought peace to that area. And the soldiers were permanently occupying that place. But you know, the soldiers have reduced in numbers. Quite some things have become normalized. Peace seems to have returned, and they probably went to sleep. Because if you look at the story around that kidnapping, it was so close to the swampy area where these assailants usually operate before. I'm talking about those vandals. So this is just to say that something needs to be done like it was done before. Let them comb the areas, let them see whether there are things that people are still doing. And on this issue, they should get the killers.
All right, gentlemen. It's a fine place for us to leave it. Kadila Dendi, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Majid Jami,
thank you very much.
Appreciate you as always.
Thank you.
And that's it on Journalist